afternoon. Welcome to BlackJack Sports. I'm Jackson Durkee, alongside me for your host, Blake Weinberger, on a late February day here on Thursday, February 22nd, as we begin, as always, on this Thursday on BlackJack Sports with my host, Blake Weinberger, and myself, Jackson, here. And today we are going to talk about this big game that John Severn is going to deal with tonight at 7 o'clock against Campbell. In their last game that they came up with a loss, with an 85-80 loss overtime to UNC Asheville.
So close.
As the game was winding down, the Buccaneers made some late shots and made 3-point attempts, and the game went to overtime for that reason. Until where UNC Asheville made some drives and made some good shots, and that's how they won the game in overtime after that tough, heartbreaking loss over the Bucs in overtime. Good afternoon, Blake, and what's going on with you in Charleston?
Not much, Jack. Hey, you're right, man. Listen, the Buccaneer basketball team has come from nowhere, from getting beat by the worst teams in last place. And, Jack, we're surging right now. We're clicking at the right time. We've been beating very good teams. We got some big wins lately. We almost, like you said, beat UNC Asheville. We had a game-winning shot that we could have won the game with. It was a heartbreaker. The Buck Dome is back, and the Buccaneers are back, baby. So look for them to put it on the Camels today. I think we're going to win tonight. I think it's going to be a great game. You'll be tuning in from Augusta. I'll be at the second part of the game, and if we're winning, and if we win, I may be able to go into the post game with a question from you, Jack. So we'll pay attention to the game and see what we want to ask the coach after the game. Any ideas what you think we should ask the coach at this point?
From what I heard from his press conference, there are three things. Number one, they've got to do a better job of shooting the ball down the stretch.
Yep.
Number two, they got to do a good job of throwing shots at 3-point range. And number three, they are the fourth youngest team in the country. And those are three things that this team is going through right now, as this team is going up against a decent team against Campbell tonight. So this is going to be a really challenge for Charlton Southern's basketball team as they face against a very good and decent Campbell team tonight in the Buck Dome.
Jack, you're exactly right. I forgot about the last point. They're one of the youngest teams in the nation. Jack, we start pretty much all freshmen and all sophomores, so everybody's coming back next year. Asheville, when we played them, that's pretty much all seniors. So we're at a disadvantage from the start. Jack, look to see us beat Campbell. It's in the Buck Dome. Hopefully the Buck Dome students, the faith, will show up. Campbell's from Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Have you ever been there?
I have not. I'm sure you have, and that place is that's a very interesting place to be at, because whenever you think of Campbell, I think of a different kind of community. Well, that's the opponent you guys got tonight, and that's what it reminds me of whenever I think of it. Whenever I think of a school in the Big South, which I've never even heard of. Now I've heard of all the different other schools in the conference, but not Campbell.
Like your dad's Longwood, that is also in our conference.
Exactly. You are right about that. And I think that what you're seeing here is, with all their rivals and all their opponents they got for each school, they go up against, and what it could be a good dogfight. That could probably be one of the biggest games and biggest challenges to face for the upcoming days ahead. As you look at the two games ahead for Charlton Southern's basketball team, they got one more game of the season, and then their tournament starts early in March and ends championship game on March 4th, which is their NCAA tournament for their conference versus in different NCAA division schools. So this is really a different kind of a tournament, if you will, run for this school in this division school for the NCAA, for this different kind of run tournament format that they have. So this is going to be, and you're right, if Charles Severn does win this game tonight, and if they do go on to win the next two games, then that could likely help their team going forward in the next month ahead.
Jack, no doubt about it. We'll see what happens after tonight. This is going to be a big game for us, and it determines a lot with what happens to us in the tournament. Jack, we could have a tournament game as early as next Tuesday, so it's going to be interesting. Hey, let's talk some Olympics, baby. They're over soon. What's going on in the Olympics? They're going to be over soon. What have you been watching, Jack?
So I've watched Lindsey Vonn and one of her teammates from her country get a bronze medal in alpine skiing in the downhill and the slalom, which is one of the different kind of events, if you will, for this kind of event. So that's what's going on in the past few days for the Olympics, as well as the bobsled team, as well as from the Americans and one from the Germany, and as well as Jamaica, and even the African countries, as well as pouring in there for the very first time in a long time, and some very and also their home country in Korea, which I think has won some medals as well. So that's good. That's really interesting to see from what their team has been formed so far for the Olympics. So for this every 4 years event, I will say it has been a great and experienced Olympic year, especially for the upcoming days ahead, which I think is going to really probably, and we'll say for a medal count right now as it stands, that Norway, BlackJack, had the lead, and then Canada followed by Germany, as well as other countries in that who have lead in the overall medal count. U.S. is getting there, but I think it's going to be a little bit each day for them to get back to where they want to be.
A little too late, a little too short, a little too late. Jack, has Lindsey Vonn been your favorite athlete? What's been your favorite sport to watch?
So, what I liked so far about the Olympics was snowboarding and the different skiing, going up and down on the little snowboarding track duo, going downhill with that little speed snowboarding kind of play, and you go up and down the skis and try to like control your balance, and that's and the reason why I like it is because you try to like control your speed and try to know how well you do, and if you like fall down very easily, you would lose points, and then snowboarding and different there's that shooting game that you see on there that you like
Cross
I
country
don't know what you
skiing.
call it, but you like ski and then you like shoot your target.
Yep.
That is very interesting. Whenever I haven't even seen something like that ever, including in a sport. So this is really something that I've probably ever experienced in this year's Olympics. So that's probably one of my favorite parts of the Olympic Games so far, and that's probably my favorites. What about you?
I think the same, Jack. I think the snowboarding half pipe is amazing. I think the cross country skiing where they have to shoot the targets, I think that's really crazy, and it doesn't make sense to me how that started. I'd like to know the history behind that. If they miss the target, they've got to go inside and ski a lap inside the middle as a penalty. Every target they miss, they got to ski one penalty lap, which is pretty cool. There have been some fun finishes in that as well, Jack, because they're starting everybody at the same time. Curling is interesting. Jack, what do you think about curling?
Now that's a game they like try to sweep the ball and try to like get it in the middle hole. That's definitely one of the most unique sports I've ever seen in this games, because you try to like go as fast as you can and you start yelling and doing all this screaming and trying to go after your teammate and trying to get to the hole and trying to knock off your opponent's curling ball out in the middle of the target. That would really cost you, and try to get back to where you need to be. And that's what I think of that as well for the sport. And also, there's also finger skating and ice dancing, which I think is also fun to watch, and as well as performing yourself. But if you like fall and they like review it and try to see if you if they get the thumbs up to see if you're good to go, and and if you get points in that. And that's what my biggest takeaway so far in the Olympics, and that's where we are in the Olympic Games this year, and that was certainly a fun Olympics to watch.
Jack, I think you and I would be fantastic in the curling division. I think you and I would do so good in curling. I think we would have awesome signals, and I think people would love to watch us do curling. I think we need to think about that maybe for the 2022 Winter Olympics, which are going to be where?
In Beijing, China.
Really?
As a matter of fact, Beijing hasn't hosted the Olympics since 2008, if I remember, which I am. That was the Summer Games, and now in 2022, that's going to be something to watch. Whenever we look for it whenever that day comes. I can tell you that's going to be the second Olympic game that this country and city has hosted prior to 2008, which is going to be something to remember whenever they host the Olympics again, and whenever that day comes, it will definitely be something to remember. If we sign up for that curling team, I will definitely enjoy it once it comes back there again. So it would be a lot of fun to do it.
That'd be awesome, Jack. Jack, great talking to you. We'll talk later. BlackJack Sports from beautiful Charleston, South Carolina, and your new location.
Augusta, Georgia. This is my co-host and I broadcasting live in Augusta, where it's sunny and beautiful, in my new currently location in Augusta, where I'm currently warm and that's office and temporary housing. Me signing off with my co-host Blake Weinberger. You have a good rest of your day, and we will talk to you again.
See you,
See you, man.
Jack. Awesome.